ladies and gentlemen. Coach Dan Palacios here of Kinetic Training, and today we're starting the first of our series, Kinetic Konnections. I've got Coach Rachel Hemphill here from her program off of Instagram. You can find her at the Chia Babe. She is the creator of the the creator of the Detox and Glow Up program, Her Holistic Health, and the 7-Day Strength School. She's a certified holistic nutritionist. And Coach Rachel, why don't you go ahead and introduce yourself?
Yeah, hi everyone. My name's Rachel. On Instagram, I'm known as the Chia Babe, and I'm a certified holistic nutritionist, and I'm also a certified yoga teacher. So I'm really passionate about wellness as a whole, more of the holistic wellness aspect. I come from a background of being an athlete, a bikini competitor, and now a holistic health coach.
Very, very cool. And
Yeah.
we got to discuss a little bit of your, more in depth of your background. What was that transition like for you, being a college athlete, transitioning out of college athlete life and officially going, well, I guess that's it, right? We all had that awkward moment. And
yeah, absolutely.
What part of that was that fuel to your fire to become an athlete of some kind again? And then how did you transition into being a coach from there?
Yeah, so it all really started when I was around 13, actually. I came from a single parent family, and my mom was like, I really want you to go to college, but we can't afford it. And right then and there, I knew I'd have to find a way. And one thing I was good at was sports. I was a good athlete. And I knew that if I could get a scholarship, then I could possibly attend college as well and be one of the first people in my family to attend college. So I ended up going to college, and after I played 3 sports, I was a soccer athlete, I ran track and cross country. So as soon as I finished, I was like, wow, like this has been my whole life. I've worked so hard to get here. What next? And so I decided to pursue bikini competitions, and that was my cup of tea for about 2 years. Really enjoyed the competitive aspect of it, and soon realized that I wanted to take it a step further, and maybe bikini competitions wasn't something I could do my whole life. And so that's when I really made the transition to becoming a health coach within holistic nutrition.
That's awesome. And,
Yeah.
From your experience, especially in the bikini competition world, it's very, very regimented programming there to get ready to be on stage. How do you use that for all of its positives and apply that to your general programming for the average person? Not everybody wants to be a bikini competition, competitor, but a lot of people want to look like them. And certainly, what does that look like from your perspective as a coach, and also having been a successful athlete in your own right, to program that for the average person versus the competitor?
For sure. Great question. I think there's always something good we can take away from every experience, whether it was a learning experience or a positive one. And for me, being an athlete, being a bikini competitor, that involves a lot of discipline regardless. So, every day, no matter what I felt like, I still had to have my meals prepped. I still had to make sure I had time to work out. And to me, that just created more of like a lifestyle for me. Like it wasn't just what I did, it was who I was. And so I really like to help people create habits that they can use for a lifetime, and something that doesn't feel like a chore, something that feels like it's part of their life and they can see how it impacts their life in a positive manner. So how I really take that into my clients and their success is helping them develop healthy habits and routines. And I think once we start with even the smallest healthy habit, whether that's just making sure the first thing you get in your system in the morning is a glass of water, that is a healthy habit. It might seem small and minute at the time, but I think those healthy habits, yes, exactly, they build up over time. And it might seem small to somebody, but the more healthy habits I think we generate, it eventually leads to big results. So that's kind of where I start with my clients, is developing small habits that lead to big change.
Nice. And, from that transition from, all right, here's all the stuff that you do in the gym, here's all the stuff that you have to do at home. How do you simplify it and just really make it so basic for the people who just feel immediately overwhelmed with this sort of lump of homework you hand them, right? Because I know my clients experience that all the time, and it's easy for us to say because we live it and breathe it and do it all the time. But for your average, desk workers and, people who are just trying to get through their day on a daily basis, considering all the other stuff they have to juggle, what is it you do to really simplify that approach for the pretty average client?
Absolutely. Well, first of all, most of the approaches I make with my clients are customized in most cases. But when it comes to like an overall approach as far as developing healthy habits, something I like to remind people to do is set up a cue for everything that they want to do. So, for example, if their goal in the morning is to wake up and go to the gym, well, it's easy for us just to say, well, I'm going to wake up, I'm going to go to the gym. I help people develop those cues, though. For example, setting their clothes out in the morning to make sure that that cue is there and that's reminding them, hey, work out in the morning, and A, you're prepared so you have no excuses. So it's really just setting up those cues, creating the healthy habits. And again, I really like to get to know every single one of my clients. And that might be a lot of work for some people, but for me, I know I can help them because I understand where they're at and I meet them where they're at.
Yeah, yeah, and that's absolutely huge. And your clientele is primarily female, I would imagine, yes?
It is, yeah. I would say it's about 95% female. Yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and we discussed this a little bit. Is for instance, my primary clientele, personal training, one-on-one for the last almost 10 years has been primarily women. Yes, I've trained a lot of boys and men, but really it's mom, mom who drives the whole family, right? It's mom
Sure.
who ends up bringing the kids and bringing the husband to the gym. It's finally saying, all right, listen, your back's got to stop killing you, and this guy's going to be the one to help you. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so from the female perspective, what is it that you do differently than maybe some of the men that you work with, that it really helps to drive home the empowerment of the femininity behind building strength and becoming more empowered as a woman through strength conditioning and through nutritional programming?
Yeah. Well, I think a lot of that empowerment comes from building from the inside out. And what I mean by that is when our body is fueled with real food, we're moving our bodies, we're taking care of ourselves, we're developing that healthy lifestyle. I think that empowers us and folds into other areas of our lives too. It's like when you feel good on the inside, you feel like you look good on the outside too. You're happy with where you're at because you're taking care of yourself. And I think that's really empowering for a lot of women, is to have that control in our hands of really being able to take care of ourselves, to feel good from the inside out. And in a lot of cases, when women are making their health a priority, it's beauty from the inside out. Again, you're making those daily decisions to feel good, and that shows. It shows in your personality, shows in the way you glow and your aura and everything. So I think really empowering women to feel beautiful from the inside out by taking care of themselves is my approach. And I found a lot of success with that.
Yeah, no, and it's obviously a hugely important aspect, not only for the individual but also the families, right?
Sure,
uh,
yeah.
because I think it creates a stronger family unit as a whole when everybody, especially when mom and dad are spearheading the campaign, and oftentimes it's going to fall on mom to do it.
Yes.
I think that's a really important thing for especially the women in the world of strength conditioning, especially the women who are doing the coaching, to be able to lift each other up, and for coaches like myself to better understand the aspects of that, because it's very easy to fall into men versus women and that type of mentality and everything like that. But these are the conversations I think we need to have,
Yes.
to be able to better understand my own female clients and what it is I can do from a male perspective to equip them with what they need. Now, and in regards to that, what are some of the simple and practical tools in the gym that you like to use and work with from a movement perspective, from a strength perspective, that just they kind of give your clients aha moments, right? Or they gave you aha moments, right? Where it was just like, man, I love this exercise and I feel strong doing this. And when I do this, I go home feeling better. What is that for you?
Yeah. For sure. Well, for me personally, strength training and weights for that matter weren't a really big part of my life for a while. I used to think that if I lifted weights and if I was in the weight room, that I was going to look manly and bulky and all these other things. I soon realized that was definitely not the case. And I started to start lifting weights and I felt really empowered. I felt strong. And I really feel like, and I'm just starting my strength training actually, as far as like really getting into it. So you're probably more of an expert in this area, but I've really started to make strength training and lifting more a part of my lifestyle. And I've just felt really strong, like not just strong physically, but strong emotionally. and in control and able to make more decisions. And I know that maybe doesn't make sense for a lot of people, but as a woman, when you feel that powerful, strength when you walk in the gym and you've got a routine down, you've done this certain exercise before, and you just feel amazing doing it, every time you get better. And it's almost like that feeds over into your life. And it's like every time you get stronger, you show up, you're stronger, you feel good. And in some cases you try something new, but you step into that comfort zone of, hey, like, I haven't done this. I don't really know what I'm doing, but I know I'm going to gain something from it. And just having that mentality of going and showing up every day and knowing that the next time it's going to be better and better and better, and you're going to see results.
Yeah, and I think that's again, going back to the what are some of those practical tools, and the same thing you said, right? What are those cues that you can rely on that are simple and easy to implement? From a programming perspective, that's really our job as coaches, is to take all this really complex stuff that you have to do with your food and with the gym. You go to the gym, you see all this equipment there. What is it you can rely on that's basic and easy to execute, that you can do consistently and consistently plug into to see progress? That's the whole principle of training overall, the overload principle, right? Is progression, overload over time. And that applies just as much in the gym and muscle fibers and building strong tissues as it does in nutrition, as it does in our daily life, right? So I think that's a really important aspect to start tapping into more often, and with more and more coaches, is understanding the impact of being able to make that decision for yourself, right? When a client engages with us, it's not to always come in and drop their brain in the bucket. It's to learn and really tap into, intentionally understand what it is they have to do when they're doing it on their own. I know I certainly am not comfortable with my clients leaving having not learned anything. And that's one of the hugest aspects that I've seen, is a very, very empowering piece of the strength conditioning protocols that comes with going in the gym and lifting stuff and moving or learning a new skill, is that you learn to make those decisions on your own and really start to understand how to program for yourself. And, that being said, once you've gotten into the sort of groove of your training, of your coaching, whatever it looks like, what have been some of the obstacles that you've had to overcome during this period of time where you're becoming coach or transitioning into a different style of coaching potentially, that you feel your training has prepared you for and helped you overcome?
For sure. So I've always focused on the nutrition side of things. And with that, I believe when it comes to overall wellness, we still need to move our bodies, and strength training, and even, cardiovascular, aerobic exercise, all those things are a part of it. And for me, for a long time, nutrition was the biggest thing. I would emphasize, you need to move your body, you need to do X, Y, Z, but I really came to a point where a lot of clients were wanting more when it came to the movement and the exercise and the strength training and all of those things. And so I've kind of pivoted a little bit, and I have decided to pursue a NASM, which is a personal training certification. So I'm definitely learning that was somewhat of a halt for my business, was not being able to help people on the fitness side of things. And so I definitely want to at least increase my knowledge when it comes to all of that. I will say my expertise is definitely more on the nutrition side. But one of the obstacles certainly has been wanting to help people more when it comes to exercise.
Yeah. I mean, that's, and I'm telling you, you're going to really love that part of it, because what from the organizational side of nutrition training and just getting everything regimented to a certain point is going to be super fun once you start doing like exercise programming and understanding just exercise sequencing and then all the different methodologies that are out there. It's like so very similar to nutrition, right? While all of our bodies are the same, they're all different in their own right, from a genetic perspective, and everybody responds differently to different types of loads and training and times under tension or aerobic training, all that type of stuff. So I think you're going to really love that part of the training, because it really is a fun way to sort of I don't want to say use your clients as guinea pigs, but but definitely you'll see all manner of different responses in a very real and impactful way when clients are doing certain exercises, and just how all kinds of different body lengths and body widths and muscle strengths actually respond to exercise. So I definitely encourage you to keep going down that path, because they're hand in hand. You can't avoid it. I try to
Exactly.
avoid the nutrition stuff. I don't like doing too much of the nutrition work. I really love exercise and biomechanics, and there's just the science behind that. But in the end, it's something I've had to go and learn more about and force
Yes,
myself to study because
exactly.
it's always been. So,
Yes.
and that being said, from the perspective of helping other coaches, right, and just making the coaching community better overall. That's the whole point of this series: connecting with other coaches and just iron sharpening iron, and people keeping each other accountable, asking good questions, and getting good answers, and learning each other's story. Right? What is it that you want other coaches to learn from your story, and how to better apply their coaching through your experience?
Yeah. Kind of as you stated earlier, I definitely believe in bio individuality when it comes to clients. So I believe not every client is the same. So not every person should have the same approach when it comes to coaching. And so I definitely think making sure that that's a thing. I know a lot of coaches just create a general program and they give it to everybody and that's that. I do believe there should be more of a customized approach in some aspects to everybody because everyone's different, as you said earlier. And then as far as, really supporting each other as coaches, as trainers, all of that is actually supporting each other. And, whether that means having conversations, doing interviews, supporting each other through our posts and connecting with each other. I think there's so many ways that we can connect and, build off of each other. Like you said, iron sharpens iron. And just as today, I'm just really thankful for the opportunity to be able to talk with you and meet with you and learn something from each other and hopefully, build off of this. So really excited.
Yeah, no, it's been a great opportunity, and of course I appreciate you taking the time to do it. You didn't have to even respond to my messages about setting it up and taking the time. So certainly there's going to be plenty more to learn. Those of you who are going to tune in on this video, just make sure to head over to Instagram. Do you have any other linkage that we should drop in? We'll drop in some other linkage for Coach Rachel here. Her Instagram tab is the Chia Babe, so we'll make sure to drop the linkage for you to go and check that out, and then check out her website where you can find all the other programming that she does from a nutritional perspective, and look out for her to become a NASM strength conditioning coach. So she'll be ready to take on some training clients soon. Thank you all so much for tuning in to the Kinetic Konnections series. We'll see you next time. Coach Rachel, thank you so much for joining us. And thank you for living kinetically with me today.
Absolutely. Thank you, Dan.
All right.